If you've had a human design reading in the past and felt so seen, so recognized, and felt like it deeply resonated, but then afterwards felt like, what do I do now? Well, you're in the right place, my friend, because in this video, I'm going to break down how to use the reading that you got and actually create practical experiments in your everyday life. Welcome to Frequency of Self, your go-to resource for the practical application of human design in life, business, and relationships. If you're ready to experience lasting transformation, hit subscribe. Here's what often happens after a human design reading. You are completely overwhelmed with what you just received. You don't really know what to do with that information. And that's because you kind of paid for information overload. When you are a human design analyst like me that have been doing this for however many years, some people have been even doing it for 25 years, they can talk about one chart for hours. That is the value of getting a human design reading at the very beginning of your journey, because you're getting a professional's perspective of your chart and being able to get all the information in. However, when it comes to practically applying this in your everyday life, that can be really overwhelming. Well, in this video, I want to tell you how to use the resource that you purchased, which is a recording of your energetic blueprint, and use ChatGPT to be able to decode it, pull out key themes, and have a resource that you can go back to create new experiments that you can implement in your everyday life. Ooh, this is gonna be so much fun. Step 1, get ChatGPT. If you're brand new to ChatGPT, it can feel overwhelming to get started, and let me reassure you, it's actually very simple. Head on over to Google, type in ChatGPT, follow the steps in order to create an account, and voila, just like that, you have a free account. Now, if ChatGPT freaks you out and you don't want to use it, you could always use Grok or any of the other AIs that are out there, like Gemini via Google. Personally, I use ChatGPT, which is why I'm using that language, but the prompts that I'm going to give you will work with any AI. Step 2, transcribe the reading. Before you do the next step, you first have to transcribe the reading that you got. So you likely got it in audio or video form, and we need to turn it into a text format. Now, there's many different ways to do this. You could always search free transcription tools on Google and see what comes up. The tool that I like to use the most is Otter AI. It's really easy to import an audio or video file, and it quickly transcribes it for you. Once you've done that, you're ready for step 3. Step 3, prompting. Some foundational basics that you absolutely need to know whenever you are working with an AI model is that you need to know how to give it what we call a prompt in order for it to do what you want it to do. Now, I have already created a prompt for you that you can find in the description below that is going to get you started on this journey. Now, let me give you a little insight into why I designed the prompt in the way that I did. I am someone that deeply values traditional human design and the original language that was created by the founder, Ra himself. Now, there are many different voices online that talk about evolutionary human design and have changed the language to make it more approachable to beginners. And so what I've done in this prompt is to talk about valuing traditional human design and the original language that comes through, while also looking at these evolutionary perspectives. What this is going to do is train the AI model to be able to distinguish where different information is coming from in the worldwide web of information of human design. This is going to help you get as close to source-based material as possible and give you insight into the evolving language so you can easily understand what it is describing in plain terms. Now, another key part of this prompt is that I do not want this to become a dogmatic approach to looking at who you are as an individual. Human design is ultimately an experiment. It is about looking at one person's interpretation of your chart, whoever did your reading, whether it was me or another analyst, and trying it on for yourself instead of taking it as a black and white rule. This is merely a system to be able to give you words to describe how you feel and a roadmap for getting clearer on who you are and how to operate from a place of alignment. That is why we are going to be creating experiments with this prompt that you can then explore in your day-to-day life to further decode what this actually means for you. Step 4, import your chart. But don't do it just yet. I gotta give you some very, very important information that is absolutely essential. You do not, under any circumstances, want to give ChatGPT your birth info. This is an open source knowledge base that is ever growing, and we don't really know where this information is going to go. So instead of actually giving it your birth information, the next thing that I would do is take a screenshot of your chart, which if you don't yet have that, you can grab your chart for free on my website. I will link it in the description below, and make sure that in that screenshot there is no birth data. Now, I want to say that ChatGPT doesn't always do amazing at actually interpreting the chart. So you want to tell it that if it is ever going to assume something about you, then it is going to first ask if you actually have that activation in your chart, and it will give you the information of how to see if you have that in your chart as well. Step 5, get personal. At this point, you have created a resource that understands you based on the reading that you have, as well as the chart that it has to its best of its abilities. And now it's time to actually infuse your life and your experiences into ChatGPT or into these AI models to be able to look at the chart from a different perspective to pull out even more practical application from it. Now, the way that we're going to do this is to first and foremost think about your life. What obstacles or problems are you facing right now that you could possibly see if there's anything in your chart that would give you insight into this issue that you're facing? Now, the best way to share insights about what you're going through is merely to talk to ChatGPT, and there are 2 different ways to do this. The first is by clicking this microphone button right here. You can click it. It is listening to me now, and I am just talking, and I'm going to talk as if I'm talking to a friend. And whenever I'm done, I can click that. It goes about 10 minutes before it cuts off. You click this, it begins to transcribe it. The longer it is, the longer it takes, and then you can click send. The second way is to use this icon right here, which is a little bit different and better to use on the go. When you can't actually read what it is responding to you with, you want to actually hear it and have a dialogue that's back and forth with this chat. So then you would click this. It is going to be listening to me whenever this blue button pops up, and I am just going to talk. And the one downside of this is that sometimes it cuts you off. If it starts doing that, you could always say, hey, please do not cut me off. Wait until I finish speaking in order to speak, because it really is more like a dialogue. Once you're done, you just stop talking and it responds. Bonus, real-time example. I want to give a real-time example of how I might talk to ChatGPT so you can see how easy this can be. Now, I am someone that once again has known human design for quite some time. This is a channel that is a mega resource for you. I highly suggest subscribing, because as you watch my videos, you're going to gain even more awareness of how you could use this resource that you just created for deeper understanding. So in order to get started, all I'm going to do is hit this icon and start talking. I am going to spend the weekend with my in-laws, both my mother-in-law, who is a generator, and my brother-in-law, who actually is also a projector with the channel of struggle, as well as the entire cousins that are a mixture of manifesting generators and generators. Adding a quick note while editing: if you have done a reading for your partner or your kids or any other family members, or done a family analysis reading, you can always transcribe that and input it into this chat as well, so that it has more information. And bonus tip, if you are someone that actually pays for ChatGPT, you could create a custom GPT that is a much deeper layer with all of this in one place, so that you can have all sorts of conversations with it. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. Back to the video. And knowing that I have 7 open centers in my chart, I know that I can be easily influenced by other people, especially when emotions are high. And so I am curious what experiments you would run this weekend that are very practical, that could help me keep a calm internal world amidst the emotional experience that I will be walking through this weekend. Are there any specific insights you could give me? Give a list of 10 that are very specific and very practical, and we can take it from there. And then within seconds, it is going to give me insights about my chart. A daily aura tune-in journal 5 minutes in the morning, which realistically, like, I'm a toddler mom, I'm not going to have time to journal, so that I'm skipping immediately. Post bathroom reset ritual. Use every bathroom break as a reset moment. Take 3 deep breaths, exhale out loud, and imagine emotional energy draining off your body like water. I love that. Say silently, return to cinder, like, or I cleanse myself of this energy right now. That's a really good one. I really like that, actually. Then write variable rhythm. Choose your seat. As quad right, your environment matters. At meals or during group hangs, sit near an edge, not in the center of a crowd. Face toward a window or transition space when possible. Right? So these are all really great insights. Even as someone that has been in human design for a really long time, I would only choose 1 to 3 max to play with, and I can play with my human design in the moment to get a sense of peace and calm internally as I move through it. So hopefully this was mega helpful for how to actually take your human design reading and make it practical in your everyday life and have this resource to go back to over and over and over again. And don't forget to also go back and re-listen to your reading about 3 months or however often after your reading the first time, because every single time you revisit it, you are going to hear something entirely new that you did not hear before. Then you can always go back into this chat and ask it further questions based on the insights that you gained from re-listening to your reading. So a human design reading is really something that is the gift that keeps giving. Now, if this video was helpful, please be sure to share what you got from it in the comment section below. Click that like button. And if you'd like to continue analyzing your human design chart using ChatGPT, you can go ahead and watch this video next on the screen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you there.